Let's get to grips with one of our top stories tonight. Officials, of course, investigating that building collapse in Meyersdal, south of Johannesburg. The structure crumbling to the ground yesterday, killing 7 people. Itumeleng Dlamini joins me now. She's the Executive Director of Master Builders South Africa. Good evening and thanks so much for your time. Your words after the release of that last construction survey were chillingly prophetic. You were quoted as saying, based on the alarming feedback from the survey, it means that many building contractors are undertaking building operations without skilled supervision on site. South Africa should not be surprised if more structures collapse and more people are killed. In the face of what's just happened, how do you reflect upon those words now?
Thank you, Iman. Firstly, can I just please pass my condolences and condolences on behalf of the building industry to the families and the loved ones of those who lost their loved ones. Absolutely. You know, we conducted a survey as Master Builders South Africa into the skill scarcity within the industry. And whilst the incident yesterday is quite shocking and very alarming indeed, we have to acknowledge that the signs have been there over a period of time. And those signs speak to the lack of skills that we are finding in the building industry. And it's also quite a depressed industry in that it's operating under very challenging economic conditions.
I mean, I want to pull out one of the statistics from that survey. You warned of a critical shortage of skills in building and construction. That's what you've just alluded to. 41% of the respondents polled regarded the shortage of skilled construction foremen as most critical. Would an accident like this have happened if indeed, you know, a person of such skills happened to be in charge?
Absolutely, but we have to also look at it in the context of the workforce within the building industry. And this is an industry that is not overly reliant on highly skilled or skilled workers. So we're sitting at around 74% of the entire workforce within the building industry being classified as either unskilled or semi-skilled. And the total ratio in the total economy only sits at 40%. So indeed, whilst the survey did find that the foreman within the construction site is one of those areas that requires immediate attention. It speaks to the supervisory role that you find on construction sites. So if you don't have the necessary skills supervising the workforce, and that is 70% of the workforce being unskilled, then you have an accident just waiting to happen.
I mean, Tumi Dlamini, what should people do? So you have, many people contracting contractors, right? Yes. Surely there should be a checklist of things that they need to make sure their contractor has before employing them on a particular site. Just run us through some of those, because ultimately they bear some culpability and responsibility in hiring people who are not skilled, and in some cases, leads to the loss of life like we saw yesterday.
Absolutely, and the unfortunate thing is that we always seem to have this conversation after such unfortunate incidents, but every client or homeowner who intends to renovate their home needs to actually ensure that they are dealing with a qualified company. A qualified company would mean that it's a company that is registered with the National Home Builders Registration Council in South Africa, because no company who is not registered should be undertaking any sort of building of a home or renovations to that home.
Is there a directory that someone can go to? A builder can come to you and say, yes, we are accredited, when in fact they aren't. So is there a registry you can go online and see company X that I want to contract is actually in fact registered?
Well, first of all, you can ask for their credentials, and they need to be able to produce their certificate. But failing that, you can actually go to the website of NHBRC, which is www.nhbrc.gov.za. And that website should be able to give you registered home builders in each of the provinces in South Africa.
All right, Tumi Dlamini, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate that. Itumeleng Dlamini, of course, is the Executive Director of Master Builders South Africa.
You deserve to know more.
eNCA.com